in this game with a bunch of Archons.
Yeah, it's weird. I think my MMR is all kind of funky because I was Archon 5 for
Okay.
a while, and yeah, I actually no shit. I started outside like so 400 games since I started, and I started off at Herald like 2,
Hmm.
literally Herald 2 like 5 months ago. So it's been a long way coming. Yeah, I got to Archon 5, and so like my internal MMR since I play with my, it's weird. I get games of Archons. I don't really know why.
Yeah, probably just the system having a hard time like placing you.
Yeah, I'm laning with Dusa. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize I was with my dog, so I didn't realize I was with Dusa until like right there. And so I don't know if my starting I don't know about like Dusa's not really a strong laner, right? So three mangoes might be is that,
Well, I would start the mangoes on CM like kind of no matter what. Like, okay, so who are we probably against? We're probably against like Hoodwink Rubik or Marana Rubik or Viper Rubik or I don't know, some combination of two of these four heroes.
right.
Um, so like I would think maybe maybe going like five mangoes would be kind of crazy because sometimes people go five mangoes on CM, right?
That's to like just try to get kills, right? You're trying to convert the five mangoes into kills, or
Basically, yeah. Or just like super advantageous trading
okay.
constantly for a lot. Um, for yeah, with someone like Dusa, I don't think you're looking to get like a bunch of kills. They like eat in like less than an hour. They get really, really annoying. Okay. Yeah. So you with a hero like Medusa, you're probably not going for a lot of kills. They've got some ranged harassers. They're all fairly decent. So I think maybe starting with like a stick would have been nice. If you get it soon, that's okay too. You don't need to start with it. I maybe would have got. I like the sentry. This is pretty good. I maybe would have just got like one more set of Tangas, honestly.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
I was landing with the Lina. Like that was like when I was going to, I saw Lina,
hmm
and I'm like, I Lina one, like because that's what I've been playing.
hmm
But it's a Lina off lane, so I thought I was gonna be a Lina in this lane and against a Viper. I'm like, you gotta shut Viper down early, right? Or something like that. Like,
Right, right. Well, if you're with Lina, you can try, but yeah, Medusa's a little
yeah,
harder. I really
yeah.
like that
So,
you got the range creep here. This is really good.
oh yeah,
This trade, as soon as it starts happening, this guy's got a Blightstone, which is very
Lightstone.
annoying.
Yeah,
But you
I
need to
I
eat a
just
tango like as soon as this starts happening, like
very true.
instantly. Because like you're not eating a tango yet. You're not eating a tango
Yeah,
yet. Yeah. So you just missed out on like
a
six
lot of health.
seconds of 11 regen per second. So you just missed out on like 60 HP that you'd have right now, and like you'll get it
Right.
eventually, but it just makes this really awkward. And yeah, you kind of just lose the trade straight up to this guy, especially with this Blightstone that he got. This is crazy. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, this is after this point. I'm like, I really this is because I guessed wrong. Yeah, I think he went.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I
So
don't know if I just had a wrap on me. Like I was probably fine just dying there.
there wasn't too
Um,
much you could have done there other than eating the tango earlier. I think
yeah,
it was kind of weird that Medusa came over and then the Viper came over, but it's like it is what it is. So you want a Windlace?
yeah. I'm like I don't know if I can play the lane anymore. Like I don't know if I just like double dying there to the Viper was like lane's over. If I like Viper again and
So
gets
your
really
plan is
strong.
just to like avoid him basically with the Windlace?
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. Decent pull here.
I told Dusa. I mean I know Dusa has, but like I think it play. But I think it because I know the equilibrium is still messed up, right? Or maybe it's fine.
The what?
The equilibrium. Sorry.
Oh, the lane equilibrium right now.
Like if Dusa tanked it outside of tower, wouldn't that have been? Oh, replay bug.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because point support is one thing I'm still like not super good on. It's like because I know single pull
Like in an
pushes
ideal
through.
world, yes, but like if Medusa tanks it outside the tower, what's gonna happen?
I got take damage, right?
It's just gonna take damage, which she doesn't like as a range here, but also like isn't Viper just gonna like hit her?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It walks up and do
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes you want to as carry, and like you literally can't because like you'll lose
Right.
like all your HP. So like in an ideal world, like yes, but sometimes you just can't. The pull is still good to get off, for just for the pull's sake.
Okay, it's fixed. That's good.
Yeah, so you're sitting here in the lane. Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing this because, like you said, right? Like you're not. The lane's kind of over in terms of like you can't really fight them. If they try and fight you, you just have to back off, right? Like at
Right,
no
right,
point can
right.
you fight them. So your job is to like play for pulls.
Okay.
Um, your sentry's still up, so that means they can't pull. You're waiting for this camp to respawn. So like honestly, if I were you, like I'd walk over here, stack a camp, grab the bounty, and then come back and like maybe pull again. Like, because all you're doing is like kind of sapping XP. Maybe you help Medusa if they go on her, but the lane was in a good spot, and like now the lane's here, and it's
Right.
shoving in super hard, which like eventually it'll rebound, but like Medusa can't really take this, but like you can't help her take it either. So
Right, that makes sense.
so yeah, I mean this is fine. Like you can like take good trades against a Rubik. That's great.
Yeah, I kind of
He
noticed that.
blocked your camp. Maybe he body blocked it. It's hard to know. So you bought a
I don't think I.
raindrop. Okay.
Yeah, the range doesn't really make sense when I think about it because like if I'm trying to play the lane, right, and I'm CM.
Well, it'll be good for roaming and like if you go leave. So here, like again, once you get this kill, just to like be more like cohesive, right? There's nothing really for you to do right now because there's no camp.
Right.
But like I'm thinking like maybe you go for the 4 minute rune. Maybe not right that second, and not that you have
Oh no,
anything
that
like better
that
to
makes
do.
sense.
But you could like go for the 4 minute rune and just tell your Visage like, hey, go grab. That's what I'll do. I'll just walk down to the rune. I'll just be like, hey, go for the. I'll say, hey, Visage, go for the bottom one. I'll just grab the top one. Like Hoodwink doesn't get rune. You know.
Right.
Like when you have nothing else to do, which is like kind of what this is. Like you put this Dirt Ward down, which is fine, but like there's just no trade against the Viper Rubik you really want to take.
Right.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and with that mana here, I can't really trade against him, and
Yeah.
I think so. Do we get this kill?
I do get the kill. That's crazy.
Now, okay, since Dusa got the kill here, and the lane was pretty like I think this actually ends up being in the
That
context of this game good.
yeah, that was good.
Okay, just because it also kind of felt like maybe like kind of that same idea of just like kind of standing around doing nothing. Like I don't know if that kill was like good or
Yeah, it was fine.
okay.
TP to the outpost.
Oh, just stack. Maybe too
Stack.
greedy.
Yeah, I just like in these situations it's like a CM who's like, you know, it's pretty early on in the game. Like you're kind of strong, you know.
Yeah.
Um you could look to like walk bottom or something. Like using your TP to just come and stack is like I don't know. Cuz now you're not going to have a TP for a long
Right.
time. Um Also, Viper could like possibly farm these stacks at some point.
I think that's what he does.
Yeah,
Oh no, yeah.
I did say to stack earlier, but I'm just thinking like at this point, like I don't know if like I don't know if that was a great use of the TP. Like
No, that
I would have
makes sense.
considered like maybe I could walk bottom. Although bottom's probably some hard kills with the life stealer.
Yeah, it's like so. I was kind of thinking like,
Not
would it be
easy.
great if I like TP bottom and like Viper just pressures Dusa like?
I wouldn't TP bottom, but like you could walk bottom
Oh,
since you have a
okay.
TP.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Wow, this Rubik is like super tryhard
Yeah.
with these like words. So Medusa went to base. This is awkward. Honestly, what's Medusa's got going on here? Well, unfortunately, she has no points in split shot yet. She's really underleveled. Like at this point in the lane, I'd honestly be like, Medusa, maybe you should just go jungle, bro. And then
Yeah.
sap
I
XP.
use my spells to
Oh, that's what's
outperform it.
happening. Oh wait, how did you get here? You were under the tower. When
Yeah.
you're under the
They left.
tower like that, like when you're this support in this position, like you should just be looking to sap XP. Like they're gonna shove the lane in right now. Like it's shoving
Right.
into you. So like if you can just sap XP, that's like really good. Like if you can get like level 5 by like 9 minutes by just AFK hiding behind your tower, it's like pretty
Really?
solid.
Shit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I see people do that in pro games all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Better than like going bottom and like pressuring, or is it you gotta wait it out? kind of thing.
Well, it just depends. But like, you can't go
Right.
bottom in pressure because you have no health and mana.
Right. Okay, so if you're low, okay,
Yeah,
it's good to sap.
contextually, there's literally nothing better for you to do than like sap like a bunch of free XP, because like while this
Regen,
is
right?
happening, like
Yeah, just
you could just
waste
like
it.
all these creeps you could be getting XP for.
Right.
And maybe you could like if you nuke it to like slow them down, like they're probably gonna dive you, so like you don't even have to nuke it. They're probably gonna get the tower, or maybe if you think you can like get away with your TP or something. I don't know.
That makes perfect
But
sense.
you'd be like 4.5 or something, level 4.5 if you'd been hiding behind that tower.
Right.
Yeah, you guys are like doing, but then like they got the
I've been-
tower, so what are they gonna do? They're just gonna like walk in here.
Yeah, that was the point where I kind of like realized I kind of like griefed the lane. Maybe not fully on griefed it, but a little bit. I think I start at this point playing like more focused because I'm like, what did I do there? Why did I just stack like 4 stacks for Viper?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
who's level
also like
6?
your Medusa's level 3, and you're
Yeah,
taking your Medusa's XP. Like you're here doing it with
yeah,
her, so you're taking her XP. Like her items are actually good. She just needs to be like, this isn't 100% your fault. She just needs to be like level like 5 and have like 2 points in split shot, and then she would be chilling. But unfortunately, these stacks are like way too big for her to take with no points in split shot, and you splitting her XP. So yeah,
yeah. I did see her build.
this is like really bad actually. But kind of have some right idea. It's just like wrong for very specific like reasons. So you TP mid.
Oh yeah, like we gotta kill the Viper, get in the stacks, and so we got.
Okay. All right. So you TP mid to smoke your mid. I like that play. It's reasonable. Why are we on Medusa's items? So you're walking top after you died. Yeah, I don't think you should walk top here. A lot of low MMR supports do this, where they walk back to their safe lane jungle to like kind of continue what's been going on down here. But like the best thing you can do to make space and protect your Medusa is to go do shit somewhere else that forces the enemy to like react. Like if you go bottom and you cause Viper and or Rubik to like TP bottom, then this Medusa gets to free farm for a long ass time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like if you come up here and the opponent's up here, are you and Medusa doing anything about it?
No.
No.
We're
So
just
like
gonna
you
walk
being
over.
here just doesn't help. And if you're somewhere else, A, maybe you can help. And B, you'll probably, even if you feed somewhere else, at least it'll be away from your Medusa. You know what I mean? Like the best thing you can do
What
is
up?
not be a liability up here near your
Right,
Medusa.
right. I think I just drop a or no. She gets out here. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like I'm level 4 Crystal Maiden, pretty strong, right? And
It's strong enough. And I mean, you guys get this Viper, but like the
4
odds that
heroes.
that's what happens here is like really low.
Right.
It's kind of like some
And
low
it's-
skill shit from the Viper.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Lina just like died bottom, I guess. Yeah, this is like really weird. Like just conceptually, you don't want to be playing around your hero that's trying to AFK farm. It's like playing
Right,
around
that-
a level
that makes
6
sense.
AM, you know? It's like the AM's like, guys, like fuck off. Like I just want to hit creeps, you know? And you're all like, "Oh, let's all be around you." Like, of course their whole team's going to show up. And this is not what your Medusa wants. Like your Visage is strong as shit and this is somehow working, but if you were just doing this bottom while your Medusa's free farming, that's even better. You know?
Yeah,
And if
no,
you're-
I see what you're saying.
and if your Medusa, like, if you're doing that and then your Medusa feeds top, it's like, it's not your fault, you know? It's like on the Medusa. But, like, in the long run, that's how you should be playing, and eventually your carries will, like, be good enough to, like, not die. Or, the skill of your carry not dying will increase proportionally to the skill of the enemy team, like, trying to find them. Or something.
Yeah.
You'll get random games where your carry feeds, but there will also be games where you have just made a bunch of space for your carry and the enemy like doesn't react properly and your carry's just like free farming. So
It's like I should be like playing with Lina here probably or taking mid. I guess mid's really
okay, I would play with your Visage. Like I just want you to
Okay.
know conceptually, like moving forward, like your Visage and you and Ogre should be doing this bottom. In this exact scenario, because your Visage and your Ogre are here top, like I would stay near your Ogre and Visage. Which, okay, you were all running this way, and then for some reason they turned around.
Yeah, I want to
I
go
would stay with
like
them.
bottom. Okay, stay with them even. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
That makes
it's
sense.
like I think it was we talked about this in our other session, didn't we? Like if your team, like the optimal play as carry sometimes is to like TP and push this all the way in, but like if your whole team's like just chilling here and is strong, like then just stay with them, you know, so that
Right.
it's like not a throw. It's like the same concept like right now.
I see what you're saying. So like in my mind, like since we kind of like pushed them off there, so we have this whole jungle to farm. I'm like, I guess it's not my job as a support to be like this needs to be like farmed or at least stacked so the value of that minute's like not lost. Because I feel like the Visage, can Visage farm jungle well or like on the way or no?
Yeah, with his birds he clears pretty quick, especially if he has mana to use Grape Chill. He farms pretty fast.
But like it's better to save team rather than like try to create that value in the jungle. Just because if
Yeah,
they
well,
die,
it
it
depends
could
on
throw.
exactly what's happening.
Right.
Like when they come back here, they're trying to pressure the tower. Is to me, it seems like what they're trying to do. I don't know what ends up happening here. Okay, this is where you're
Then we get this
here,
kill.
and they turn around.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I guess nothing happens. Okay, well, nothing
Okay.
happened, which is fine. In the end, what you did ended up being more correct. Like I said, it was correct to begin with. They were just like doing something weird, and it probably would have been better to stay with them.
Right, I see what you're saying though. Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, they can farm the jungle fine. Thinking about like you're like commenting on losing the efficiency of the minute, which is like a very advanced concept for Crusader Archon level people to be thinking about. I think as a support, I wouldn't worry about it. Like if you're thinking about that as carry, like that's great. But if you're like a support, like it's not your job to like sweep the jungle, right?
Right.
Like if you want to, if your cores are like inefficiently farming the jungle, it's like whatever, right? The best thing you can do is like kind of try and encourage your team to be in the right place, right? Buy some smokes for your team, and like try and get them to make plays in like the right part of the map. Like you can get your, and then like in the downtime, like yeah, you can shove lanes. Like a lot of times people tell low and more players on cures like Crystal Maiden to max her Q because that will shove waves way faster. Which might have been decent advice this game. I mean, right now you're like sitting here pushing out a lane that no one's pushing. Your W is definitely better for getting kills against most lineups. Okay, so now you're playing with your Visage aggressively. This is like decent. Like even though you're dying here, this is what I'm talking about. This like caused a big reaction. Your Medusa is free farming. You know, he's like the only core taking advantage of the space, but it's whatever.
Yeah, our three Lina's getting there.
Phase boots.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What can you do? Okay, so you have a smoke now and wards. Like that. I would have bought wand here. What happened? Didn't you have a stick? I thought you bought a stick.
Maybe I bought it and sold it. Oh, maybe I was like debating between.
What the
I get
hell?
one later, probably.
I thought you bought a stick. Like, you don't get one until 20 minutes. You haven't
But
queued
no.
up. I guess you just never actually bought it.
I thought against the
We
Viper,
talked
I
about
wasn't sure if
like,
it'd be
right in the
good.
beginning.
So I had it queued up like against the Viper Rubik lane.
Right. And then you
But like Viper
that makes sense.
doesn't. Yeah,
Once it was Viper, that makes sense. You like didn't buy it.
but definitely too late. I
Yeah,
could have
as
got
soon
it
as you
earlier.
as soon as you like start doing stuff like that time where you were like by the time you had like TP mid and like smoke your Visage and your jungle like you're like doing stuff at that point, you're not laning. That's definitely the point where you need the stick at minimum, probably just the full wand. And,
Got it, that makes sense.
I really like your other items. I think this is like really good, but like the fact you're saving up for this 4-staff instead of having a wand is like kinda
Yeah.
trash.
Staff of Intelligence versus
Yeah.
Wand, not even close.
Your staff of not very intelligence, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so you're
So I think
your team and you're picking top.
yeah, I know Viper's gonna be there. Like I think we can get him, but Visage. I still looked at the map. Cause I smoked Visage originally. I think
You
right?
did, and then he didn't follow.
But he didn't want to come. Cause like I was telling them, I'm like, okay, we see two middle, and I'm like, I know Viper's gonna be farming that hard camp there, and I'm
Okay.
like, cause we caught him on that ward, or
That's a reasonable thought. There are a couple things I'm thinking about here. Is like sometimes when you're like smoking like this from the middle of the map with like teammates, right? And you're like looking for a kill. Sometimes running at the person you see farming top when you have that sweet ward is like really nice. A lot of times it's going to be the carry, right? And then it's like totally worth it if it's their carry. But in this case, so you've got a core with you. A lot of times you're smoking to a core. Like say this Visage was in here, right? You and Ogre could smoke here and run to a core wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
In like that sense, like running top towards your Medusa, kind of again is not what we want, right? We don't want to be making plays around our Medusa. Our Medusa wants to chill and AFK farm, and if we run into this Viper like you did, and their whole team shows up, and then this Medusa is like, wow, there's a fight happening right next to me. I guess I should walk over, and then your Medusa dies. Like, it's like kind of your fault, right? Because you like smoke to make a play like near your Medusa. Like, what is she supposed to do? Not show up? You know, probably, but you know, this is Archon, you know. Whereas if we like just look at the map and this, or like we could smoke to our Lina, which you know is like also probably wants to be AFK farming, but like, you know, if this is like any other offlaner, right? Wouldn't it be way better to like smoke down to our other offlaner and pressure this bottom tower? That's what we
almost
want.
dead, right? That makes sense. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because even if we kill the Viper, there's no objective to take there. Right?
And it's just their offlane Viper. Like, yeah, he's annoying, but like their lifestealer is still going to be free farming during that time, you know.
Literally, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Also, just conceptually, Viper is a hero.
Hard to kill.
Is very strong early and likes to fight and win fights early on in the game. So if their Viper is AFK farming away from your team, not bothering you, like, it's usually good to just let him do that. Especially if he's having a good game, right? If their Viper's having a good game and then just, like, AFK farming, you're kind of happy. Because you're like, oh, he could be, like, running at us with his team and probably killing us all, but he's not. So, like, going to fight where the Viper is, like, just conceptually early on in the game is, like, it's like, unless you really, like, you know, unless he's, like, the kill on the enemy team, which, you know,
right. No, I see. He's not top net worth.
Not bad, honestly, considering. These are just the factors I'm thinking about. I'm not saying this is the worst decision ever. My thought here would just be to smoke bottom towards my offlaner, who happens to be a Lina, which kind of sucks, but, like, and get this tower. And, like, not be near my Medusa. And like I said, sometimes your Medusa will die while you're doing that because he's like not very good, right? If the Medusa is good, he'll like move this way and be behind you guys and like relatively close to you and not be getting caught.
Right.
Those are all my thoughts.
No one would expect it. I'm like, who? Yeah, exactly. Who would smoke a Viper, right? I thought it'd be a clean kill. I don't know. I thought in my mind with Ogre, CM, like we can chain stun him with Visage, and I thought he'd melt because
if Visage was there, he would melt. Like Visage kind of owns Viper super hard.
Yeah, then
but the problem is your Visage didn't come.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is also just, you know, what can you do? If your Visage had come, that play actually would work really well. All things considered, it worked fine, except your Medusa did die because he did show up because it was near what he was doing, right? Is that what happened?
How did Dusa? I thought Dusa had ult, because I thought that'd be really good this game, especially, I know like Dusa needs to recover, needs to farm, so skilling ult later makes sense. But against a lifestealer, which I guess why would lifestealer be near Dusa? I thought that'd be sick, because I don't think she dies with ult.
She does not have ult skill.
She stomps with ult, actually.
Yeah.
But it was close.
That's exactly what I mean, right? Like, you started to play near the Medusa, and she showed up, and she died.
Yeah.
Granted, their lifestealer showed up and also died somehow, which is, like, great. But, like, if you just do that same play near the Lina, and Medusa doesn't die...
No, I understand what you're saying. That makes perfect sense.
Way better. Okay, so you're clearing this wave for your team, which is good.
Oh no, I think I go back to get mana here because
okay, you're like
wasted too much.
It's like okay, it's fine. Bought a dust, no smokes to buy.
It's in a hoodwink. Oh no. Oh, nice.
Okay, this is decent. You're running around with your Visage away from your Medusa. That's kind of what we want to see.
Yeah. That part's good.
Some nice words. I like this. Controlling this area of the map. Oh, this lifestealer is crazy. Okay, so now we want to take the tower. Your Visage doesn't want to take the tower. Maybe your Lina will just take it. If Lina takes the tower. Sitting behind
I go
Lina
first.
taking the tower.
Yeah, first item here. Thoughts? That's good.
That's
What
pretty
do you
good,
think?
yeah. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, there's Viper as an Atos too. That makes it like super good. But especially against his Atos, it's like the best item. You could consider a Glimmer. Glimmer is also very good against your team, but it's Force Staff's really good against like Viper in general and against Lifestealer, and then there's Viper build and Atos. So this Force Staff's I think really good. You just don't have a wand, which sucks. Okay, so they went on your Medusa. It didn't work. We're behind our Visage. This is sick.
Yeah, I canceled my TP there because I'm like, what am I doing?
Right.
I don't need to do
Don't grief yourself. Did you TP? I didn't even see that.
that. Yeah, I started TP,
Oh.
but I canceled it.
Yep. Yeah, there's a it's good that you canceled it. I have a video that I made a little while ago about like having high impact as position 5. And one of the games I showed 2 games, and one of the games I played CM, and I specifically talked about how you don't want to like defensively TP to like your own side of the map. So it's good that you didn't TP there.
Let's see, so the game goes long. I thought like if the game went really late, that we would just naturally win. Like if Medusa gets
right.
because I don't know, I was looking at our cores versus their cores, but I guess I underestimated Lifestealer against Dusa.
Yeah, well, and I mean, honestly, what happens late game low MR is that they're just coin flips because people don't play the map right, and then just random fights happen, and it's like a coin flip, honestly. So it's not that like this whole concept of like scaling and like all that, it really only matters if like you're playing the map properly, and like playing like the late game properly and always being grouped up as a team. If you're not, it doesn't matter who scales better. If you're just taking like 4v5s or 5v3s and like the game just ends off like some moron like dying in a random spot when he shouldn't be allowed, you know.
I see
That's
what
what I
you're
mean.
saying.
Like, the scaling doesn't matter. Especially
Yeah.
at low MMR. It's good to pick heroes that do scale so you can have impact when the game inevitably goes late, but in any specific given game, it doesn't matter, in my opinion. Okay, so you guys get this Hoodwink kill. So like you guys are winning in net worth, but like in terms of like map momentum and like fighting them, you guys are like kind of ahead to me. Can you stop, dude? So in your like, what is your guys' game plan for the next like 5-ish minutes? Like, what generally do you think should happen for your team?
Oh, what items does Visage have right now?
Visage has Aghanims.
What the
And a
heck does that
medallion.
do? Wait, what is Ags? I'm more familiar with like.
So Visage Aghanims makes him and his familiars invisible. So it's kind of like a Shadow Blade for him and his familiars. And when they break it, it causes them to do increased damage for 4 seconds.
Okay, so it's like a fighting.
It's kind of like, yes, it's like a pick-off, fighting, killing item, 100%. And like the invis, and it gives flying movement type, so you can fly over cliffs and shit while you invis.
Okay, so in my mind here, if I could dictate how the game would go here, I mean, because again, I'm assuming that we win the late game here. Well, I guess that isn't not necessarily true, but I feel like our fights are easier the later the game goes, as our cores get items. So in my mind, Deuce is farming top jungle right now. I don't know how safe that is, but she doesn't have her ult, and I'm like, I want to play their jungle right now, get some good vision, and like we can electively choose to take fights, or run away. Because again, as long as we're like farming the map and like still putting pressure on, I think that's really good for us. Like we don't have to force anything, is what I'm trying to say. But holding instead for 40 seconds, Visage could maybe hit mid and Lina. They can take towers really quickly, and then like I don't know. That's kind of my idea, like efficiency and like putting pressure, but not like overcommitting.
Okay, that's pretty good. Those are like the right ideas. Oh, this is interesting. You guys are like doing decent, but you're like just getting totally out farmed. So I would say that you would want to continually look for kills like in this area of the map and swing back and forth and basically farm this area, kind of like what you said. Farm this area while controlling 2 lanes. So like the fact that this lane is here isn't like great, but like we gotta kill here. Dude, get out of here. Fucking cats, dude. But like you guys gotta kill here, and like this lane is shoved in, so you could like walk kind of as a unit. This is ideally, you know, you're like herding cats here in Archon, so like this isn't gonna happen. This is what you want to happen. Is you guys kind of move this way while the cores like farm all the camps and stuff. This lane gets shoved in, and then, you know, if anybody shows up on their team, they die. And then you move back this way and shove in mid, and if anybody shows up there, they die. And you can kind of rinse and repeat this until you're ready to either attack a tower or take Roshan.
Right. That makes sense.
Your team takes Roshan okay. Pretty good, actually. You don't really have anybody to tank it, but I mean, Ogre kind of tank. Visage with Medallion and Lina. You guys would shred Roshan, actually.
Yeah.
So you kind of take Roshan whenever you're ready, and you can even pressure towers decently. Like Visage plus Lina can pressure towers pretty hard too. So that to me would be like what you want to do is like keep these lanes controlled, and like kill anybody that tries to farm them. Stay like sorted together, and otherwise you're kind of like farming this until you're ready to like hit the tower, right? And if you've got perfect map control, like, right, if this lane's here and you've killed somebody here, then you can like just sweep down and this lane's already here and you're like can hit the tier 2 easily before they've even like pushed out mid, kind of thing.
Right.
That's not exactly how it's gonna go ever at low MMR, but that's just like the general idea of like what we want to do is basically control 2 lanes, the mid and their safe lane. You know, if it was flipped, it would be these 2 lanes until you're ready to like do the next objective, whether that's a tower or Roshan. Some games it's like kind of obviously one versus the other. Like if you have like an Ursa or something, or a Slardar, then it's usually Roshan. Versus if you have like a DK, then or a DP. You know, maybe you want to like push a tower or something. I don't know.
Right. If you could like move every hero on the map right now to like where you think the most ideal place for them to be would be like where do you think that would look like? Should Dusa be top jungle? Is that still safe for her, or is that like super?
That's probably not that safe at all, especially with no vision. I mean, Hodvig's dead. We see Mirana, so like maybe it's not totally unsafe right this second. But if I'm Medusa, I'm like kind of looking to be here, and maybe Medusa can sometimes clean up the mid wave. I'd want Visage and Ogre to like kind of run bottom with you.
Okay.
I'd want Lina to like hang around. Like if I was Lina, I'd hang around like right here. I'd kill this camp, and then I'd kill this wave once it's like pushed mid again. Like I'd clean up this wave as Lina, while the Visage and Ogre are moving down here. Like you and Ogre can like, I don't know, you could like farm a camp and hang out in this area, and Visage can like clean up this wave, or like vice versa. Like one of you or Visage can both push this in. Ogre and the other person can like hang out here, and you're close to the Lina, you're close to the Visage. If they try and do anything, like you guys just all connect and kill them. And otherwise,
right.
Lina's farming and pushing in the wave. Somebody else farming, pushing in the wave. Medusa would like kind of move over this way, farm the triangle safely. You know, and they're farming these 2 camps and like these 2 camps and maybe this wave, and like, you know, somebody gets a wave on her tower maybe, but depending on who it is and like who's showing the exact circumstances, maybe they die. You know, if like Rubik shows on this wave like right here, maybe you just kill him. You know, kind of depends. And yeah, now let's see what actually happens after we spent 5 minutes talking about it.
Probably me just farming jungle. We should go bottom.
Nobody's pushing.
Right.
Yeah, nobody's pushing in bottom, which is weird. Your Visage and Ogre went to their own side of the map, kind of for no reason, to like hang out with the Medusa, which doesn't make any sense. Lina farming the triangle is like okay. I mean, at least she's somewhere. I'm
down with the Lina for sure.
Yeah, and now like okay, so Lina moved to bottom, which is like okay. So now somebody needs to push in this mid wave, like just given what's happened. So basically your Visage just like has its eggs and is like just hunting for kills. Ogre, I don't know, decided to run with him for some reason, even though your Ogre cannot go invis and fly over cliffs. Your Ogre thinks he's a valuable +1 to what Visage is doing. Yeah, I don't really know. This is like weird, right? I would have wanted you to just push this in.
Yeah, do I have to show up to this?
I don't want you to not feel like you can't show up to it. I just want you to be pushing in mid while deciding whether to show up to this or not. Like, if it looks good, then, like, go show up. And if it doesn't look good, then don't go show up, you know? Like,
all right, so you're saying.
I wouldn't...
Oh, it looks bad.
He overextends feed. Right? He ran into, like, the one area where they feel safe is their triangle, right? And he's, like, trying to invade their 2 camps where they feel safe. Versus like your Medusa like had kind of run of this area. You guys had the whole run of this area. So like the key in Dota is like you don't have to kill them if you can just farm 70% of the map and they're farming 30 for like 5 minutes straight. Like, you don't have to kill them ever. You probably will at some point because they'll like be tired of farming only their tiny 30% and they'll like try and move out into your area and you can kill them. But you don't have to run into their area of the map and deny them these 2 camps they have left to like just completely out farm them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's
so
like 264 gold a minute, that triangle.
What this Visage is doing is not like, who cares? Like, who cares if they're farming their own triangle? You know, like nobody was farming anywhere else, and now where are they farming? Now they're farming their triangle. Now they're farming down here. Now they're pushing out this wave. You know, they've pushed out mid. Like, right, they farmed like 60-70% of the map.
Right.
It's just because you guys like left their side of the map and like, you know, so they just spread out. Because why wouldn't they? Like, high level players don't spread out. They like suffocate you. They stand here and they kill you if you leave your tower radius. And meanwhile, they're farming this. And, you know, they're not farming the whole area of the map, right? But they're just farming this, and somebody's farming Ancients. And the other team's farming 1 lane, and 2 camps here, and 2 camps here. And you're just farming more camps and more lanes than them, you know? And you're killing them. Because you're not spreading out. And, like, they're trying to spread out to get what they can, right? Like, somebody's going to be here. Somebody's going to be here, if not 2 people. Somebody's going to be here. Somebody's going to be at a tower. Like, they're going to be spread out, trying to get what they can. You're running around as 4, like, efficiently covering both. And, you know, not as 4, like I said. Like, if Lina's hanging out here doing this, and, like, Visage is here, and the supports are here, you're, like, kind of as 4, but you're kind of, like, covering both lanes at the same time while still being close enough to, like, connect on any play that's happening.
Right.
So yeah, that's why you just shouldn't leave their side of the map. But honestly, this is how your games are going to go at low MMR up until you're, like, Divine? People do this wrong up through, like, Ancient. Like, regularly do it wrong. Up through Ancient. Like, Ancient players are not particularly good at this. They'll just leave the enemy side of the map for no reason. Like, just because they see farm behind them. You know, they're like, there's an Ancient camp in our triangle. We should all go farm it. And then the opponent just, like, gets to leave their tower, you know? Gets to leave their base sometimes. They'll be stuck in their base. And the Ancient team will just, like, back up.
Oh, kind of a tangent of that. Is there ever a case where, like let's say, playing a game and the enemy's locked in base, right? Like, we're super strong and they can't win a team fight outside of base, but they have, like, Tinker and Sniper or something like that. If I'm, like, the carry and, like, we have good map control, can I farm, like, how do I get these insane, like, I see, like, 989 GPM, right? I'm assuming these people are farming, like, the entire map at the end. Is that okay? Like, when I have, like, Blink Dagger plus, like, mobility to just, like, farm, let's say I'm Dire, farm the Dire triangle, Dire jungle, while I have, like, one of my cores farming, like, the Radiant jungle, and then, like, we let them have the triangle, theoretically? Or should I, in that case, use my presence to, like, suffocate the map? Like, so maybe farm their triangle and just that in the waves.
It's kind of a hard question. Like,
Is it ever okay to do that, I guess? Is that a thing that people do?
Yeah, sometimes it's okay.
Okay.
But, like,
I wasn't sure
like,
if that was, like, a show-off.
do you have bots? Like, if they make a smoke play and, like, intercept your team here, like, are you going to be there? Like, are we talking, like, they somehow got a wave all the way here and you're, like, trying to clean it up? Or is it, like, all 3 of your waves are, like, right here and you're just, like, farming this area, you know? Because in theory, then you're, like, not showing and they don't know where you are. So they, like, have to act like you're here. Versus, like, if you're showing on a wave, like, over here, they're like, okay, well, we can just go fight them because their carry's on here because we see them, you know? So it kind of depends.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Not showing, being, like, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're just gonna try and make a play based on the information they have. So if you give them, like, that information that, like, an important hero is, like, not there, then it's like,
right,
they're gonna be able to make a decent play. Versus if they don't know, it's gonna be a shot in the dark. Okay, so what is happening in your game? We've all spread out. Visage died and respawn. We're all on our own side of the map now.
Yeah, I thought they'd go for Dusa here.
Yeah,
Like, I or, like, the maybe Roche. Well, not Roche, but, like, play around, like, top since that's where we're weak. So I thought maybe I could just, like, stand there. But Since they see Dusa, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so what you should do, what you should think about doing in this phase of the game really comes down to like when your cores like want to fight and are ready to fight. Okay, so we've come to, let's just go back even further. Our Lina's finishing BKB. Our Visage is about to feed, but he's got his Ags, right? He's like trying to do something on his timing, hypothetically, right? And our Medusa is just recovering still. It's got a Gasha, but like, right, is pretty far away from like wanting to fight. So your Visage dies in the triangle. Lina's farming. You know, nothing really to do at this point, right? You're kind of on the defensive. And then your Visage respawns, and your Lina has like reset, and he has this BKB. So like this is like an item. This is like a power spike for your team. So the next important thing, like for supports, I think, is like honestly just talking about how to like when do you do shit, right? Because like you're at this weird phase now where you're not controlling them. Like I told you what to do when you were in that situation you were in, but now you're in this situation where you're like, okay, the game's pretty even. You can't just like run around and do whatever you want. And so it's like, okay, what do you do and like when do you do it? You do it on your core's item timings or other power spikes. Like I don't know, maybe level 12 is a power spike for point and ultimate or something. Depends on the exact timing of the game, right? Usually it's item spikes at this phase in the game. Like it's not really like talents usually. It's usually like item spikes, right? There's Lina BKB, item timing. Visage, not really close to his next item because he like just got his Ags kind of fed. But like he can fight. He got his Ags. He wants to fight. That's what his item does. You and Ogre don't really matter so much, but like you have your Force Staff. That's pretty cool. So like if you group up as 4 and smoke and your Lina has BKB, then probably a good play happens because you're probably not going to run into all 5 of them and your Lina has a BKB. So this would be a good time to like smoke your team and do something because your Lina has a BKB versus waiting 2 minutes and then your Lina has like half a Atos and your Visage, I don't know what he's going for, has like half an Orchid, I guess, I don't know, and your Medusa has like a Manta maybe at that point, but it's like not as good of a timing, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because what we want to do when we're in this situation, when we can't do whatever we want, right? We don't have the control that we did before. We want to get that back. That's what we want to get, is what you guys had. The control where you're controlling the 2 waves and like farming back and forth and killing them if they leave their base. That's what we want. That's the situation we want to be in. So how do we get that back? Well, we take a fight and we win it, and while they're dead, we get their lanes in and we get good vision up.
Right.
So when do we take the fight to like then let us do that? It's like on our item timings, on our core power spike item timings. So your Lina BKB, so that requires you as a support to pay attention. If you're a core player and you hit an item timing, you should want to fight. You should be like, sweet, I got my item. Like, I should go fight them. I tell lower and core players that all the time. Like, you got your item, like, go fight. Tell your team you want to go fight. Go fight them, right? Like, why is his Lina going to farm more, right? Like, does she need it? Like, she's 500 gold.
Right.
Like, she's so far away from her next item. Like, isn't it good to take a fight now? That's what you guys should be doing, is fighting. Instead, you're all spread out, just farming randomly. And when that happens, right, the enemy's going to do some shit, right? The enemy's on some power spike. Gleipnir, no items. Deso, it's pretty good. Veronica Yules, you know, they just decided to group up and do shit because you guys weren't doing anything. So when we do nothing and we have the capability of doing something, the opponent's just gonna like do this. So like they did their play versus like if we just look at the map, I'm just curious. If we look at when this Lina got her BKB. So this thing's getting her BKB right now. Where's my fog vision? Free camera. Fog both teams. So this is like right now. So if you guys like grouped up and smoked right now, they are all pretty clumped right now. But let's just say you were doing that. If you like guys smoked up and like walked this way. I mean, they're pretty grouped up. So like maybe you would have walked into a bad fight, but it's because they were like just about to. But like oftentimes, basically what they did worked against you because you were all split up. Oftentimes, if you had just done it 30 seconds earlier, like you would have caught them in the same situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, they
Yeah, hope
just
that.
totally spread out, just kind of AFK farming.
Before that fight though, so like Dusa is at Lifestealer's net worth now, and Lina like is doing well farm wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like status quo, that's good for us though, right? In the context of this game, because what ends up happening is, I feel like I was kind of wrong in my assumption. Like they actually just kind of like stomp us with more net worth, or the same net worth like late game. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because like when that happened, my team was pretty demoralized, and I was like, oh, it's okay. Like you guys are Deuce's farming top, like no worries. But is that like an incorrect assessment? Is losing those fights even in a team like ours like still like
Yeah,
really bad?
no, it's fine. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. Like losing 2 heroes like mid game is like not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, like long term for the game, like doesn't matter at all. Like I said, the scaling doesn't really matter that much. Like you guys aren't horrendously outscaled. Like I think you guys do scale a little bit better than them. Like the Lifestealer and Medusa matchup like pretty favors Medusa pretty hard. And you know, it was, like, and people don't play this shit correctly anyways, right? People don't itemize correctly or whatever. So like, yeah, all of your games are winnable. Like up to like a 15k net worth like deficit. Like if you just like group up and like make smart plays around your power spikes and like you push out lanes that you should, that like gives you the correct information that you need to like make plays, like they're all winnable. Like people are just not going to react properly in any given situation. Like, you know, the problem at your rank is like everybody's just making the same number of mistakes all the time, and it's like a fucking coin flip. You know, they'll throw, then you'll throw, and then you know, it's like whatever. But yeah, none of these games are like ever unwinnable. You should never feel like they're unwinnable. You know, unless like you've got somebody walking down mid or something. Like the other team, just like your team, is just so liable to fuck it up. You know. Let me see just what exactly happens here, just so I'm calling on it. So you guys like kind of respawn. Hoodwink illusions. So your Viper and your Lina are hunting. You're like kind of dewarding, but then you connect. I guess it's like reasonable. It's like reasonable. You're like connecting to like what your other cores are doing. Look at that. Fortunately, your Visage dies. Very nice. Visage doing some work with the birds while he's dead. That's cool. In the meantime, our Medusa's free farming. It's cool.
Yeah, I happy with this play. This one seems good. Oh no.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Seems like they have vision of you. Something got away. Oh, they're just like Mirana ulted. I guess they just like ran back up here. I guess they just kind of like ran back up here. The life steal wasn't low at all, so he felt like it could. Oh well. As soon as this fight is over, I see the life steal was right here. Yeah, I guess maybe you're just misjudging the situation. Both your cores are dead. It's just you and Ogre left.
Yeah, actually, not noticing that.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to die here, but also like because like Lifestealer and their Hoodwink, who I think is a core, right? It's like their mid or something. Yeah, it's like their mid. Basically, you should have just like been like, oh, I need to like leave. You didn't stick around way too long. Like I said, I didn't expect you to die, but it's all good. Like going to fix bottom lane would have been pretty sick. Granted, at the exact moment, the Lifestealer was like kind of on the way there, so I don't know. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. Okay, so team respawns. Yeah, I'm just thinking like, what's my next core item timing? So our Visage went drums, okay. Our Lina is getting close to Shadow Blade. Our Medusa has a Scotty.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge timing.
It's a reasonable timing. So like, if you can get your team to group up and be like, hey, Deuce's got Scotty, let's go guys, 5-man smoke. Like if you can get your team to 5-man do anything, like it's probably gonna work.
Oh, it's okay. Is it a game? I was like, oh, can we farm this? I was like, because like that whole jungle top is open, right? And I know the enemy team's like kind of playing bottom. I think they might have just dewarded my ward. So I was like kind of like gesturing for my cores to farm the top wave at the minute. Was that?
Yeah, no, that's like dumb because like you guys should just be smoking on a power spike.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that Medusa had Scotty at that point. I
Yeah,
thought it
so
was just
just
coming.
like conceptually, it's not bad to like want to farm the area, but just like macro wise, it's just better to like fight on your item timings. Like if you get your get your team to group up on an item timing. There's just like a better use of time than to like, because like what's gonna happen? You're gonna spread out, you're gonna farm again, and then if they make a play, you're all gonna be spread out across the map again. You're just gonna get picked off somewhere. You know,
Right.
like you can't just continually farm the whole map. Like that's not how Dota works. Like if the other team just like has a brain and just like decides to like, you know, monkey smoke anywhere, like they'll just find somebody and kill them. You know. Okay, so now you're picking Roshan. Which, like, okay, it's an objective. You want to force a fighter on Roshan with your Deuce of Scotty timing. I respect that.
Oh yeah, maybe I said play top for Roche. Okay, maybe I didn't say play top the farm. Maybe I said play top for Roche.
That would be reasonable. Your positioning here
Because
is insanely bad, though. Like, why are you here? Where are they going to be coming from?
from,
They'd be, like
from
walking
their
down this ramp,
guys.
dude. Or this ramp. What are you doing? Also,
Could be.
you really need a ward here. You guys don't have any in stock. And you don't have any. So I guess, like, just you guys just don't have any wards. It's, like, pretty sus without any wards. But I guess it is what it is. It looks like it's going to work.
Oh yeah, we do have vision bottom. They're pushing our. We traded our tier 2 for.
We have this ward. I don't know. All your wards are gone. It's okay. It's okay. We got the Roche.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so we have a strong time. I said something to say, like, Medusa, let's connect on this triangle fight. Because I did see at this point that Medusa had Scotty and Aegis. I'm like, we're going to stomp this fight.
Okay, yeah. This makes sense to me. This makes sense to me.
I get
Seems
the,
very good.
I get the ward down. I'm like, well, I'm thinking I should get vision here for the team.
Right. Vision for the team's important. You got one round of spells off. Yeah, unfortunately, you just like, I don't know, there's like a misclick or something, but like, if you want to put vision here, you just need to walk like right here. Like you can't like take yourself out of the fight for like 5 seconds when it's like happening, right? You have Force Staff you might be able to use. You have your Crystal Nova, which you should definitely use. You know, and honestly, you don't have to ulti on CM every fight. Like sometimes it's just like suicidal, but like you should definitely be close enough to the fight to cast your spells, and you kind of like walk out of the fights to get this vision down, and then it just like happens without you at this point. Yeah, this like doesn't matter. So like I don't know if you would have won that fight if you hadn't done that, but like you doing that definitely sucked.
Yeah, can we? So that whole fight didn't make sense to me because like, not only did we got stomped, like obliterated. So like, obviously like my contribution to that fight probably was just not enough there with my just a frostbite and I think a Q.
Yeah.
Like what went wrong?
Okay, so if we pretend you hadn't run away,
Yeah.
so your ogre's late to connect for whatever reason. It's not ideal. Your Visage's initiation got kind of wasted on this Morana who didn't die. We're not in position here to like use another spell. And then our Lina's positioning is crazy bad. And meanwhile, the Viper's kind of dealing with Medusa 1v1.
I should probably be there to help do so. That's probably the best place for me, right? If I could frostbite the Viper so he can't attack the Dusa.
Okay, so the Medusa swooped in from the... Oh, I see that. Or sorry, not the Medusa. The Lina swooped in from the side. And your Medusa ulted super early for no real reason. But, like,
Yeah, that's
Caesar's,
also...
like, not near her.
The ult should only be used like against the Slice Stealer, right? Like that's the best. Because it slows his attack speed through his BKB.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Does Ogre get trapped? What just happened?
Oh, Hoodwink comes. I guess Hoodwink came on him. I didn't notice that.
Oh.
Just got kicked apart. Damn.
So it seems like everything that could go wrong for your team went wrong, which is just unfortunate. Like sometimes that's like what happens. But like your Ogre was stopped from like coming in and using any spells. He's casted 0 spells. Your Lina got this stun on the Rubik, but then didn't have vision. So like there's just Sun Rubik on the stairs right here that she can't attack or use any other spells on. There's a Lifestealer also here, which like ends up being not good for her. But like if she could like insta kill the Rubik here if she had full vision of him, hypothetically. And And then yeah, like I said, your Visage thing was kind of wasted, and then this Medusa's ult was wasted. Like if you want to ward, like I would just drop a ward sentry like right here that sees like down this way.
Oh.
Like don't worry about the cliff right now. Or or just like walk this way and like put it up.
No, yeah,
really
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, like if you could get like a Q out on the Lifestealer Rubik to help, and also your Q gives vision, and then like walk over to your Medusa if she needs a Force Staff, or like Force Staff your Visage forward.
The Lina,
Force Staff wouldn't have really helped your Lina, I don't think. But he got pretty low pretty fast because he basically walked right on top of the Lifestealer. But yeah, basically a lot of shit went wrong for your team. It was just like kind of unfortunate. Honestly,
yeah,
it's kind of a lot of like what can you do? Like a lot of like small things went wrong for your guys' team there.
My back thunder is dumb. I was just so in disbelief. I'm like, I really thought with Scotty it was just like game over. Like I thought you just mow them because is it just Scotty? I guess she doesn't have Manta.
Yeah, she has Manta. Yeah, the Viper's like got the Bloodstone, so she can't like just solo the Viper. And unfortunately, you guys were like really spread out. Oh, another thing that like helps in this situation is like being coordinated about who you go on. Because like what happens here exactly? Like you guys just like go into the first person you run into, which is the Mirana, right? That's what happens. Like you scan, walk. Your Visage walks up first. You see the Viper go on your Medusa. Then as you run to the Viper, you see this Mirana come. Like if you guys had like all just like ignored the Mirana, like because this Visage doesn't know it, I guess, but like he kind of owns Viper. I don't know about with the Bloodstone, but like on average, like Visage is very good against Viper because he's got no innate damage block as a melee hero. So the familiars plus the Visage, like, and then you're like stealing his attack speed, so like he can't attack you. Like Visage shits on Viper, like
no, that makes sense.
And this level 30 Visage player, maybe he doesn't know that because he's fucking hardcore. Who knows? But like if you guys had just like gone with Medusa and like just gone straight and like tried to like take down this Viper, even without the Ogre there, I think it would have worked. Your leader probably still would have fed though. His positioning was just unluckily like very bad. Like if he had just like walked with you guys and then all four of you had like gone on this Viper. If you like just kill the Viper at the beginning of the fight, then it's like way different.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, any individual kill makes a huge difference this fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you don't get the Mirana who had the Yules, which is like pretty clutch from her. Because you guys don't have any instant disables except for Ogre, who like wasn't in range because he got caught by the hoodwink. So yeah, like I said, just a lot of things, small things that went wrong. But yeah, going on like the hero that can't get away, like this Viper. If you would all go on the Viper, like he can't get away like a Mirana can, right?
He's just dead, right?
Yeah, it's just like an easier kill. Okay, let's just stop talking about this fight because we want to cover more than just this fight.
Yeah, it's interesting to conceptualize the heroes because I've definitely had the least experience with these heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any life stealers or honestly hoodwinks or vipers in my games at least.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of stuff just matters a lot, and that's why you just kind of have to play like 3,000 games of Dota to like be decent at the game, because then you know how all the heroes work and like generally how they work together. And then even then you might not know that Visage is particularly good against certain heroes because you just haven't thought about it, Fucking a bajillion different individual matchups in Dota. I don't know what 100 times 100 times 100 is like 10,000, right? There's like actually 120, so it's like 120 times 120 or something. Or maybe there's some sort of factorial that I'm not considering here. I don't know.
Yeah, so he melts them. It's just so quick.
Yeah, it's just disgusting because the Viper can't even attack.
Yeah, and the Scotty lowering his regen.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, that's pretty good.
So you guys respawn, find this Viper. Okay, so you've actually put yourself into. Unfortunately, Lina kind of fed again. Interesting, he ran away there. I wonder what would have happened if you just hit him. I guess his lifesteal is pretty high level.
Yeah, he's also got AC, which made me nervous because that seems like really good against our team.
The Visage is like hunting again, unfortunately. Yeah, the Visage just like isn't here. Okay, like whatever. But like somebody needs to go pushing bottom, right? Like this again becomes the phase of like, okay, their Viper's dead, our Lina's dead, but like we're on their side of the map, right? Unless we're like totally afraid that they're about to like crush us in this 4v4, right? Then if that's the case, maybe we do back. But if we're not afraid they're about to crush us in 4v4, if we think we can like, you know, walk over here safely without like throwing the game, then somebody needs to walk down here and push this in, and ideally you take this outpost and like control this area, you know. That's what ideally should be happening here.
No, that's right. It's like the macro
Okay,
positioning.
so you...
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh.
this Visage just gets caught, and you know sometimes you'll I find it with bounty hunter players recently a lot where they just like randomly feed because they enjoy being near the enemy, and they walk into a random they just walk into a random ass entry and they just feed. You know, it's Visage players can do it too. Yeah, your Visage just kind of like walks into a sentry and gets gone on, and that is just not how you want fights to start. So yeah, it is what I mean. Like random shit, just people just make random mistakes for no reason. Like that Visage shouldn't have been doing that, and like you can't control him, so it's like whatever. The only thing you could have done differently is like if you know that the plan here, before he gets gone on, if you know that the plan here is just like try and get this lane in and like take the outpost so Lina can TP in, then you can just go do that and tell your team that's what you're doing and just tell them to play like in this area, right? If you can get a ward here and say, hey, play this ward, like don't go outside of the ward, right? Play this ward. If they walk into this ward vision, then kill them. That's like huge. Like ward vision advantage fights are so good. Which, you know, you tried to put the one down, so you understand this, that like getting vision down to start a fight is like really good. So if you just tell your team to camp on a ward instead of like look for these crazy plays, like where does this guy walk? Yeah, he gets fucking A-toast like right outside the enemy tower, like where people have sentries all the time. What?
Wait, sorry, I say.
I just said he was he like got caught where people have sentries all the time. Like there's a very common spot to have a sentry to make sure that the enemy doesn't have like an ops here. He's just like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm like suffering some PTSD from a bounty hunter that I played in. Or actually, it wasn't even me. I was watching my cousin play a game who had a bounty hunter who was just doing this. It's just bounty hunter players do it all the time. They're just like walking around on the enemy side of the map tracking random people, and then like it's like, okay, the enemy knows you're there, and they just drop a sentry and they just kill you. And the bounty hunter's like totally alone, like he's not doing something useful.
So funny.
Basically happened with your Visage there. He's just like randomly walking around invis because he thinks he can, and feeds. Oh well.
Take Lina kill.
But yeah, like you can tell your team to play around the board. In the meantime, like you can go shove this out because your team's like a bunch of morons that's like not going to do it, right? Tell your team to just farm these 2 jungle camps, take the outpost while you shove this in, and don't overextend past your wards. Like that's what you can do to control that situation. And if the Visage feeds anyways, like that's life, you know.
Makes sense.
The Visage feeds, but then so does their hoodwink. So if you can like get your team to play on top of vision and like not feed while their hoodwink's still gonna feed, then that's what we want. Wow, okay, so you guys turn it around. It's great. So like conceptually, we just want to fix the map. They're all dead. They're all dead. Unless Roshan is like up right now, which it probably is. If you just run straight into Roshan, that's good. If Roshan's not up, you gotta fix the map. And I coached a Divine 4 player who was playing support, and this would happen, and nobody on his team, and Divine 4, this guy's Divine 4, nobody on his team would go push out this lane. They were playing Dire. Nobody would go over here. And I was like, dude, if nobody on your team's going to do it, it's got to be you. Like, somebody on your team has to do it, and so if nobody else is doing it, it has to be you. I'm telling you the same thing. You're Crusader, almost Archon. He's Divine. It doesn't matter. Somebody has to go push out this bottom lane right now. They're all dead. They're all dead for so long. The map control is the only thing that matters while they're all dead. It's the only thing that matters. Take all this farm, get all this map control, and then just fucking camp on a ward and kill them when they respawn. Because all you do is get this in, and then group up and sit here as 5 heroes and wait for them to walk into your ward. That's all you have to do, and this game is just like over. Like if you wipe them and have full map control and wipe them on top of a ward, then you can just go take Roshan, and then you control the lanes again, and it's not actually over, but it's like so easy, right? Doesn't it sound easy?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
It sounds simple too, but it starts with like getting the map control.
Would it be worth using my TP then to do it?
Yeah.
At this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, ideally you do it sooner, right? You do it like as soon as that fight's over and they've got 4 heroes with respawn timer sticking, just TP, boom. Or tell your team to TP. Like if you like, hey, somebody go clean up this farm, draw an arrow on the map, right? Down here, over here. If you can get your Medusa to go do it, even better. Then he gets all the farm, and he does it faster than you anyways. Lina could do it too, but Lina's pushing in top, which is fine. Pushing in all 3 lanes is great while they have 4 heroes dead. It's totally allowable. But if they don't do it, like, you need to do it. Like, tell your Medusa to do it. If he doesn't, it doesn't have a TP. There you go. No TP, boom, you do it.
That makes sense. Yeah, if I can justify it. Like, oh no, he dies. He dies in the same place. I think to the same ward.
Classic,
That's
probably. And, okay, so he's feeding like a moron, but he just has no direction. He just needs somebody to tell him, hey, we're gonna push this out, and then take the outpost and just control the mid lane. Don't dive their tier 2 tower looking for another kill right now. And the game's so easy. Easy. This is what I mean, right? This is what I mean when I say that all your games are like winnable. Scaling, blah blah blah, I don't care. You guys lost this terrible fight here. It doesn't matter, because you're gonna get this opportunity. You're gonna get this opportunity like 2 or 3 times a game. And the problem is just nobody knows what to do. Like, nobody executes the next 60 seconds of Dota from here at your level. Nobody does this correctly. Nobody. So if you know how to do this like half correctly, you will just like make these games, which is like every game that goes like 35 minutes or more in your bracket. You just make these games so much easier if you know to get the map control.
It's like checkmating in chess, right? You gotta like set up the moves to
Exactly. There's things you need to do before you win the game of Dota. Like killing them once and then taking no map control off of it. That's what I mean by it's a coin flip too, because then they respawn and then you didn't get any significant advantage from them being dead, and then it's the same thing. And then the same fight happens again, and maybe they win it this time, And then they don't do it right either, and they don't take map control off of their one team fight, and then you can walk out and you can take the same team fight again, and maybe you'll win it. It's just all fucking coin flips because nobody knows how to like take map control and take good fights.
Yeah, I like playing PL for it because when I play PL, I can like solo do it. I can cut 2 lanes super easily every minute or every 30 seconds, and I don't play much of it. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing here. Roche is getting set up soon, so I think I'm telling my team that we should probably like make sure we have like vision top and stuff.
Yeah, at this point in the game, it's tough. I mean, you definitely want to have a ward. What I've been finding I've been doing a lot is like, if I know I want to take an objective, like I'll just try and hang on to a ward like until we're like about to take the objective, and then I'll like try and put it down. I've stopped warding around objectives I want to take preemptively because half the time like the enemy will just come deward it before my team is like ready to do stuff, So I just like hold the ward and like kind of try and herd the cats first, and if they like eventually get to the right spot, then I throw down the ward to do it. Because I found a lot of time I'll like set up a ward to do an objective and like and then we just don't fight around it anyways. It's like, okay, well, why did I do that? Why did I bother? Yeah, you guys are pushing high ground with no Aegis. This is really bad. I don't care that the life stealer's dead, right? Your Visage is like not a lot of HP. I guess it's like fine, and he like loses all of his HP. Just hoodwink. As soon as they glyph here, honestly, if you guys want to force it while the life stealer's dead, as soon as they glyph here, you gotta back to Roche. You gotta back to Roche on here.
Right.
Like 100%. Like nobody should be lingering. Nobody should be lingering. You should all be running straight to this Roche on pit.
Right. So should get top out or
doesn't matter. Do the Roche, and then get your map control. Like push out top a little bit, push out mid a little bit, and then like smoke and like run down the bottom together or something.
Okay.
Roshan first. If Roshan's available and you can take it while their carry's fucking dead, then like that takes priority over any lane pushing. Like free Roshans should be the highest priority in the game, and they are
Right.
at high MMRs and at low MMRs. Like people forget that Roshan exists like outside of like very specific windows where your screen happens to pan over the Rosh pit on accident. It's like, oh look, there's a Roshan there. Oh man, nobody does fucking Rosh, dude. No, there's no reason you guys don't back to Rosh here, right? Like, I mean, you agree.
Yeah. And so, and if it's not up,
Especially
we just
like, boom, Glyph, no wave for a while anyways. This guy's dead for 40. Like, just go Rosh. It takes you 10 seconds. You know, and it
Yeah.
so fast.
It's really fast.
So you just,
So,
you just
and
gotta
then
be pinging here. You just guys, the only thing that matters is Roshan right now. The only thing that matters is Roshan right now.
right.
Like, you can be telling your team this, and then, at least 30% of the time they'll listen to you.
No,
Coach
that makes
guarantee
sense.
there. The other 70% of the time you might be out of luck. Yeah, decent wards. I just don't like this ward because now you won't have one for Roshan. Hey, you'll have one soon.
Right.
But, there's a lot of control over this area when we should be wanting to go take a Rosh fight. Okay, we take this tower, but it's like, doesn't matter. It's not that it doesn't matter, it's that Roshan matters more. And
So I told my team here to. I'm the one to ping. I'm like, because I'm looking at the map. I'm like, oh my god, they're totally gonna get Roche. Like we totally went bottom, and
Yep.
yeah, I say like they're probably roaching because like what else would they be doing? They've been playing pretty smart this game, so I tell my team to go. But I underestimated Headwink, and I just.
Yeah, they probably have a ward set up. Yeah, that's what I mean by Glimmer. Glimmer probably would have been a smart second item.
Yeah, the BKB, I regretted it because Lifestealer can just bash me out of my ult anyways.
Yeah.
I kind of, so it made no sense. That like was I think one of my biggest misplays this game. If I had a Glimmer, I think it does change things in a lot of the fights because I'm not at this fight. I can't TP in.
You get the Viper, but unfortunately their Lifestealer kind of walks in, and a nice arrow and Dusa. Yeah. Yeah, and we just didn't have like a ward, and like, did they have a ward? Did this Hoodwink see one ward? Yeah, they had a ward, right? They just had this ward set up. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, that's this. It's being.
Oh yeah, placed by Moran. I was just confused by the portrait. But yeah, they just had a ward when they killed you here.
Yeah, that's the punishment for going bottom
Yeah.
is that they were able to set that up, and
Yep.
actually that's yeah.
Yep. So like, if you guys just back to Rosh, then this fight doesn't happen because you just took
Yep.
Rosh already.
When I died, I said probably just high ground. I said high ground, but because I think I got super out of position. I don't know if it would have. It probably would have mattered if I didn't die there. I could have probably helped, but
I mean,
don't know.
yeah, like obviously not dying there matters, but I like just conceptually, like this fight doesn't matter because like if you're playing good, like this fight doesn't even happen. You know what I mean?
Right. I see that.
Do you want to look at another game? That was a long time looking at this game. I'd like to look at two just because I think one game is like not.
Yeah, we can. Okay, so
Well, we won't look at 40 minutes in depth of it, but we'll look at it.
yeah, makes sense. I mean, I played this Lina game today. It was kind of stompy, but it was pretty hard in that like, I think there were a lot of it kind of like relevant to the last Lina game I played that you watched.
Okay. Do you want to do a little comparison from last? time?
Yeah,
Do that?
I think that might make it a little faster too, just because we can like kind of skip through some of the other stuff. But yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. It's hard like as a support player to like measure your impact in a game because a lot of it's more like strategic stuff. I mean, because as a core, you can kind of like look at your damage and your net worth, and that really translates it. Like in the game that game I played, I had the second highest damage on my team. I like had more damage than Dusa and so like in Visage or yeah, and so I like said okay, so my team fighting impact was probably there, but also my map movements could have griefed my cores so they don't have a lot of damage, right? So I didn't think that like me having the highest damage really, if anything, that was kind of a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily. Like, I mean, hero damage is like, I don't know. I honestly don't care about hero damage as like a stat, like pretty much at all. Other than like, oh, that's interesting that this hero like did so much damage or something. I don't know. I like as in terms of like gaining value, like I don't at all from hero damage.
So I got the 3 Iron Branches this time.
Nice. We got the third Iron Branch.
Yeah.
It's
And
33% better.
I'm against Pingo and Grim. I saw the bounty in there. That's pretty sick. And I'm like, I can just bully them, right?
Probably. Yeah, especially the Pango. Yeah, yeah. You should be
Yeah.
able to like just kind of crush. I played a game of Lina carry. He was a turbo, but I was like, man, this isn't as easy as it looks.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
last hitting
didn't
is annoying in the lane. It's kind of hard. Her like attack backswing is just so bad that it's like last hitting is awkward. It's pretty good so far. Aggro back, nice. Very nice. Okay, so lane
I
shoving
have a
in.
double wave here. Yeah. Oh,
Not
he
the
grabs
worst
it.
thing in the world. It just allows you to pressure. Like if they walk
Yeah, that's
up,
what
like
I-
you should feel like more liable to like pressure, just like this, just
Yep.
like this.
I called it to my tree. I'm like, we have double wave here. Let's
Yep.
fight.
Yeah. It's not always bad, you know. Sometimes you just get a kill off of it because they can't like really fight you at all. Okay.
I'm like, I can deny here. That's like the best thing I think I can do, but it's actually too dangerous position. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get out.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you get hit by the Grim Nuke, which you know I always forget because I don't play a lot of Grim against Grim a lot right now. But like, yeah, you don't really want to be standing there. I would just
Yeah.
be thinking like, okay, I think your train's gonna pull. I think he might miss it though. Like if you could like pull the hard camp, maybe if he misses it, then that might be good.
That makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
like whatever, but like, yeah, you are kind of out of position. It's not really worth taking all this damage, but okay, you do get tangos. Wow, Grim kills your courier too.
Or you get sniped. So the pull happens here, and again, so I think just like going in tower because I do let it go in the tower after a second because also this happens.
Yeah.
like shit.
Well, this is what I mean though. Like this is like too long to like take it outside your tower. Like you asked to like if your Medusa had done it in the other game, but like as a ranged hero, like as a melee hero, you can kind of do this forever. Like melee
Yeah, you
heroes
can.
don't really care that much, but as a as like a ranged squishy hero like Lina, like you really just can't do this for more than like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Like if there's not a wave coming like right away, which there is not, like you just can't do it.
Yeah.
The if you really wanted to, you could drag it down immediately so you're not taking it right. They're just following you and just walk down this way over if you have the time and if they're not going to kill you for it. But like otherwise, just take it
Right.
under your tower. Be happy you're getting free CS and not taking a bunch of damage that you don't need to. Get the Pango, which is nice. Get the Grim, which is cool.
So right here, I'm like, ouch, because I asked my.
I probably would have eaten an
Yeah.
Iron Branch here.
Oh, that's a very good point. I kind of forgot I could do that. Yeah, double regen.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Okay, so you're adding some items. Yeah, we are in a rough spot though because of all that trading.
I had a salve with my if I threw out a salve as well, I think I would be in a way better spot alongside those tankos
Yeah,
instead of the stick. Probably instead of the stick even.
it's a lot of foresight. I don't mind the stick.
Pretty good in this lane, I think. Tango spams the spells.
Hey, I gotta go feed my cats. They're
Yeah.
winning.
problem.
They're winning the war right now. Like, give me like 2 or 3 minutes. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe you could have the cell phone out. Does the tree bring the stuff? Where's the tree?
ETB's middle. I guess he uses
Like
bottle.
bottle refill?
Great. Actually, does Brute use bottle?
I don't know. No.
Okay. So I don't know. Yeah, I tried to calm him, but by the times I had messaged him,
Yeah.
he
that's okay.
TP'd. It was almost close. Oh, he can pull off though. So good though.
Yeah.
That makes it all worth it.
Almost though. What I want you to consider this, and maybe you don't do it, but like, as soon as you like get these last hits after the kill, like, you could just go base here. It's like
Oh,
weird, but like
That makes sense.
you can even just TP actually. You can walk and then TP back to lane, or you can just TP now and then walk back. You're actually if you TP back and then you'd have the boots by the time you're done regening and you like boots back out to lane, that'd be pretty hype.
Dude, that would've been sick. And if I walk back too, I have the stacks from Fiery Soul, so I walk back quicker.
Yeah, for like 4 more seconds.
I could get 1 Q off, but yeah, I see what you're saying. That actually is that's like that makes perfect sense. I actually think I win the lane. I think I draw the lane this game, but I think I win the lane if I do that since I'm so ahead of the Pingo from having 3 kills. Okay.
Yeah, it's like super relevant in mid. Like a lot of times in mid, like that'll happen where you like if you kill them and then you get really low, like you just walk base right and just be full health and resources when they respawn. It can be the same thing in the side lanes. It's longer. It's a longer walk. Like it's not like great, but I mean, like you're saying, if you come back this lane with full health and mana and your fucking Falcon Blade in like 30 seconds, like yeah, this Pango's gonna get a wave, but like so
level
fucking,
2,
so fucking
yeah.
what? Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that would have been
crush
insane.
it. Yeah.
Because now the level 2 Pango threatens me because his
Exactly,
nukes-
because you have no health.
Yeah.
And the alternative is like you could stick around for like this wave if you really think he couldn't kill you, and you could like try and like nuke it and click it as soon as possible, like kill one more wave and then walk back if you thought you could. But otherwise, you would just miss the wave, and you can miss a wave. It's not the end of it's like not that big a deal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like, Okay, so basically we're gonna be useless as fuck for the next like couple seconds. Seems like.
Yeah, I do some.
It's healing you a little bit. Well, I guess with the flag bearers, you're like 2/3 HP now. Flag bear is OP, dude. Just hang out by a flag bearer for a little bit, and you're like, it's like hanging out with a tango in your mouth, I guess. But yeah, we never really get to restart our mana. It's kind of bad.
And now I'm like, I just probably want an efficiency here, right? Like kind of like what we talked about is.
Oh wait, what is this item build? What does this skill build do?
Oh, don't eat. Okay. So again, I was on the Tortellini build, and I was autopiloting it, and it goes, you go cute.
Yeah.
I realized that here, I'm like, and actually I realized before this point, but
yeah,
I did it again.
Oh man,
So.
that's rough. I mean, I've been there. I was a Luna the other day, and I leveled up my ult at 6 because I was just like, I just didn't think about it. It's like, oh, level 6, press Control R, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why do I have? And then I'm like jungling as Luna at level 6 with like a point in ulting. It's really bad. It happens sometimes, as long as you know it's a mistake. That's funny.
Yeah, but Patreon I can't really get like, so I think I just want an efficiency here, right? Like that's kind of the.
At this point, yeah. Sometimes people, like, I've heard it said specifically against Pango to like try and shut down his game because without 6 he's like useless as fuck. But like, I don't know, Lina farms so fast that like I think you just kind of want to go for efficiency anyway. 6 entry value.
Oh, that was pretty good Patreon.
Okay, so we're getting camps. I want to see you like check the wave here. Like
Yeah,
I want you to like be looking to do this, but I want you to be monitoring like when this wave is here to like get, because usually it's better to like get the wave. All right, because we walked. Man, these replay books are so annoying, dude. So we walked away here, which like makes sense. Makes perfect sense to walk away from the wave here. This guy puts down the sentry. Right, we're doing this, and then I want you to be like, oh, like, we can clear this.
Yeah.
We can clear this.
So get there
and then
right when it connects. You think it's like that's what you're saying? Like
pretty much. Ideally, yeah. I mean, it's just like, is that small camp, which is gonna be there anyways.
50 gold.
Right, it's gonna be there anyway. Is it worth the number of creeps that you're gonna lose here? And if it's 8:45 and you don't get it, then it's slightly different, right? Because the small camp won't be there, or not won't be there, but like you could have cleared it and then come back and clear it again, right? An extra small camp could have been there. So it depends on the exact timer, right? In this situation, the camp's going to be there anyways, so it's better to go back to the lane like ASAP and be there as soon as the creeps meet and make sure you don't miss, or soon enough to not miss CS, versus like, sometimes the jungle camp is worth it. And like here you're doing the second jungle camp, which they also appear to have vision of, and you do miss like, I think that whole wave basically. I think this is like the next wave.
We caught this on the ward. Wait, actually, did we? Oh yeah, we did. I don't know why I did.
Honestly, my map awareness in these situations is crap. So yeah, you should do it better. But also,
Yeah, I was a little kill hungry there because I'm like, if Budge isn't there, I mean, I know Pingo's role, but I think they die.
Yeah, but like I just want to remind you, like, or not remind you, but like point out that like if you had cleared this wave first, and then we're like back here jungling, and like knowing you're not going back to the wave right away, you probably would have noticed this Pudge walking up.
Yep.
Versus like here, you're jungling, but you're walking towards the wave, thinking about like this wave that you have to farm, and like possibly having to deal with them because like you didn't just clear and get out, and then then the Pudge here, you notice.
Yeah, Pingo hitting 6 there was also awkward because I was gonna strike him, and then I think he hit 6 there, and I'm like, yeah. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm not. Pingo just ults it, so I'm like not
Mhm,
kicked out of
mhm.
top. I can defend it. I can farm the tower and then jungle a
Yeah,
bunch,
yeah,
right? So it's like,
that makes sense to me.
that's
That's
my
reasonable.
game plan right now.
Very reasonable. He's only a kill
Because
threat against you when he has roll, basically. So
yeah, clear the wave as quick as possible and jungle.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, they do have the ward there.
Oh, did I see that? I think I saw it,
You
right?
did, but it's
Oh,
it's whatever. Sometimes you're just
that's
focused on other
funny.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. So do I get the wave here then, or do I?
Well, what's happening? Looking is the first thing.
Yeah, I mean, like it's gonna. By the time I get there, if I farm this camp, it's probably gonna be like.
Honestly, a high MMR player probably does not. They probably wait till he
Okay.
pushes it in because they're worried about the Pango roll again. If it was me, I'd probably do it, but like a
Yeah.
9k MMR player would probably not walk back into a lane where Pango's full health and mana and has Pango roll. They just wouldn't. Especially because people want to kill you, right? You're the carry. Like people love
Yeah.
like, killing the carry. And higher
And
MMR
everyone
is
hates
like even worse. Like you gotta be hella scared all the time that like a bunch of heroes are gonna show up in your lane. Unless you know they're not there. So yeah, I think your decision here is correct.
Yeah, then I think I can.
I probably would have made the wrong decision there, but I think what you did is correct. So yeah, you're walking back under the tower. Still risky, but you know, your MMR for sure. It's like reasonable. Like you should feel a little scared. Like you should be like, oh, I could probably go in here. Oh man.
So I should be deeper in the jungle here, right? I should like maybe not even get that small camp, just skip to the medium camp, and then do that.
I mean, unfortunately, we just didn't see that Pudge at all. Like when we see Grim hanging around, like probably, like as soon as I see the Grim, I'm probably just like here. I probably like start walking this way, like walk attack, walk attack. Like I'm walking over to the right, away from this Grim, and maybe up,
Right.
depending on how aggressive this Grim is like getting. I'm like judging based on how close Grim is trying to get to me. But yeah, if I see the Grim, I'm like walking away
Yeah, that makes sense.
as I'm attacking. Because I don't want to fuck with this Grim. I just want to hit creeps. And then, yeah, unfortunately, this Pudge doesn't even show on your board. But, yeah, just rip. That's just too bad.
I'm still pretty happy with the game stay here. I mean, I think
It's not too bad. I mean, your Brood's, like, fucking crushing, so...
yeah, I probably I think Tide's really behind right now. If I remember correctly, I forget if he's. I think he has a really bad early game.
It's
Yeah.
not doing so hot. Okay, so you TP bottom? I don't mind that you don't TP top. I'm just like... Okay, so, like, Brood's doing Brood mid stuff. Treant's spinning bottom. You've got your ults. That's fine. You like TP'd in defensively. Nothing happened, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm like I could probably. It's like
See the Pudge.
I see some stuff happening.
That's good. I think this is good. Yeah, you like walk away, right? Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is what I would be doing. All right, getting a little active. I don't hate it. It's probably also what a really high MMR player would do. These guys are like not afraid to get active if they like know they can like have potential somewhere. It's like good.
Yeah, this game I thought it was interesting because like there were a lot of times where I definitely could have just efficiency'd, but like I don't know if I wasn't action like doing things that if we would have won. Like if I was passive, we might have lost. But
yeah, no, it's a hard balance to hit, and like high MMR players do it really well. Like you'll just watch them, they'll just like show up to shit, and you're like, wow, how do they like know to show up to that? That's what I think, anyways. But
like I'm walking back top because Triant's like I've been stacking for you.
okay,
He's
I
stacked
guess
this
that
small
makes
camp
sense. I'm
three
just like,
times.
this makes me sad,
Oh,
especially because your tide
yeah.
walked away from it. Your tide was like
Well, Tide
there.
TP bottom too, so I kind of assume that.
It's kind of your tide's
But-
fault, not yours. Your Treant said he's making stacks for you. It's kind of fine for you to be up here. This is like fine. Got our E maxed out. Very nice. Going for the Shadow Blade build. I don't mind that. Okay, so we clear the jungle out. Walk towards mid. This is good.
Yeah, I saw that stuff happening bottom, so I could probably get this in. So is that's worth it? What I did there, getting that mid wave.
Oh yeah, 100%. That mid wave is so important. I think we talked about that.
Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
mid
I was
wave
just
is
being
super important. That was like
So it
100% the only that is 100% the best play you could have done, and nothing else even would have been close. Like doing anything else would have been trash, actually.
And it's only good though because I see like I knew there were enemies bottom and stuff, right? Or like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
normally
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Got
If
it.
you have like no vision of them at all, like if your team's like somehow has all this vision here and they're like not here, then like yeah, you're like kind of a psycho. But
Yeah, okay,
given
cool.
you had vision, totally correct.
Yeah,
And
then
then
I
you
just...
know they're all bottoms, so you're going to continue your farming in the top jungle, which makes sense.
I'm like, what the heck's happened? So I'm like, oh, I can
Alright, alright. I dig this, I dig this.
put on silencer
Yeah, that
first.
looks pretty good. That looks like a pretty good TP to me, so I like that a lot. I would just shove the lane here, though. Like, they're dead,
Yeah, I
and
don't
this
know. I'm
tower's
scared.
not. So
Yeah.
this is when you... This is, like, a clear example to me of, like, when you, like, don't worry about efficiency, and you just, like, take the building. Okay, you walk back. And then you walk back to ancients, is the question. Okay, okay, you just walk back a little bit. You guys do end up...
Yeah, we get it. In that
That's good,
case,
that's
is it sort of for me to be there if all three of us here? Like, I guess is it never bad to have too many heroes taking that objective? Or like, do I go peace out and start farming somewhere else while I like brood hit it and take it
Kind of
quickly?
depends on the exact circumstances. Like, if you guys are all gonna like be attacking and killing it for like a long time because all your heroes suck at hitting buildings, then like it's not really good. Like if you're like a Slark and you know a Brewmaster that's not ulted and you know fucking mid Tusk and you're all just trying to hit this tower together and it's slow as fuck, then like yeah, that's probably not good. But like if you and a Brood kill it so fast that it's like it's not that inefficient to just like kill it together and then like walk away. It's like takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, okay. And then I can like,
Yeah.
I think I go
You know,
full
if you want to walk away and be like, oh, I thought it was gonna get us safe, but a lot of times I like it to just be like sure. You know. Also, you never know when your teammate's just gonna walk away before the tower's even dead. You know.
True.
You walk away and then all of a sudden they walk away and then all of a sudden the tower's not dead and you're like, wait, what just happened? So. But like I said, you know, if you're 3 shitty melee heroes and then you walk away because it's not efficient and then the enemy team like shows up or something, then you know sometimes it's just not easy to get the tower, and then you just have to accept that.
That makes sense. So I tell my team that I'm gonna go farm like again back towards the jungle. Is that like a? I mean, they're all up. I don't have like my core items yet, so this is fine, right? To be like kind of a little bit of a
Yeah, this is fine.
bitch move. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is what Lina wants to be doing, like kind of pre 20 minutes.
Sick. Okay, good. I felt good about it. I just wasn't sure if it was.
Yep. Got item slot problems.
Literally, yeah.
It's branches.
So, if this works, yeah, sick.
Yeah, I don't mind that you're participating in this. Like, you didn't initiate it, and you're not, like, putting yourself out of position. You're kind of just, like, in the area, and it looks good, so you're showing up. So that's what I like about this. Like, I wouldn't want you to be forcing this here if it, like, didn't look good, you know? But you're just, like, kind of casually here, and it, like, looks good. So I think what you're doing is pretty good. All right, you're, like, walking away. That was really good. That was, like, good amount of participation.
And I kept the stacks. That was pretty clutch.
Very value. Not as easy as it looks to all the non-Lina players out there. Like me.
Oh,
yeah. No one saw that.
think,
No one saw that. I'll edit that part out of the video.
Oh, and then this one is so unlucky. Literally, like, inches away. I looked at it later. It's like, what the heck? They're there.
Feels bad. So we're going to Silver Edge. The only thing... I don't mind the Silver Edge. I just am not sure I want to, like, fight them. Like, if I have Silver Edge. Like, take a big team fight. You know how, like, last game I said, like, your Lina had a BKB? So it's like, you as a support would want to fight around your Lina with BKB. If I see my Lina has a Silver Edge, I'm like, Like, I don't know if I want to, like, fight around my Silver Edge Lina, right? Like, you get Pango rolled or a Pudge gets on top of you, like, or you get Eclipse, like, you just die. So it's just important to recognize, like, it's okay to not, like, go the BKB here. It's just important to, like, recognize, like, you kind of don't really want to fight until you have BKB. You can go for pickoffs and shit, though, because that's what your item build's going to enable. So we'll just have to see what you do and if it matches up with, like, what items you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I forgot how it ends up going. I think I go BKB after. But I also thought, like, I'm killing the Pudge. Pudge is kind of... I thought was an issue, but he's really not. That was, like, the break. But I know you're not supposed to build Silver Edge just for break. Oh, this is so bad.
I mean, you can, but I have to.
Oh, I'm so greedy here.
Rip.
I've died to Pudge every single time. Pudge is my weakness.
The only thing I would say about this, honestly, is, like, you're standing in the one spot that gives you, like, the least amount of vision I mean, technically maybe they don't see you as well, but like, right? You don't see, like, if you're just standing here, because you have a long attack range. Like, if you're doing this here, then you have vision of this Pudge flanking you. And I mean, maybe you still get hooked, but like, you could at least see it coming.
Yeah.
Kind of like standing in the spot that gives you the least vision. It's important when you're doing these like sort of dangerous camps to like try and inch towards like the safety. Like, if they are going to be coming, you're as close as possible to where you need to be to like run away. It was the same thing where like this Grim showed down here and we were at this small camp, right? Just like kind of work, like these small positioning things are oftentimes for carry the difference between dying or not dying. It's like being 300, like hitting the camp from here versus here is like actually a big difference in terms of like if they show up, do you live or not?
Yeah.
Just try and think about that. You know, if you know there's nobody around, then it doesn't matter your positioning. But if you're like afraid of dying, right? That's when you see like pros like quelling blading this tree and then like hitting this ancient camp back here because they're like really afraid that like they're about to get ganked and they want to be able to like quickly walk away. You know, like that's what is going into that decision is like thinking, oh, I might die for killing this camp, but like I really want to kill this camp.
Like, what I TP here?
Got BKB queued up next. It's good.
Like once I get that item, BKB, I'm really strong here in this game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right. So I don't want to like force anything if I don't have, but this actually ends up being pretty good. And
yeah, that's good. You stayed on the outskirts. Ooh,
I missed him. So diving here, it seems pretty dangerous, but we also have all title, right? So
yeah, you are correct. You do have title.
I feel like I'm playing pretty safe here. Like I'm not overextending. So like even though I'm playing aggressive, like it's like, oh, this game was crazy.
Yeah, it gets a psycho. Wow, their silence were force staffed in. That was cool. Yeah, I think that was pretty well played. Yeah, with the if the Ravage hadn't been up, that would have been like you guys would have been way too hard. But it's kind of pretty good. Pretty good, you know. And maybe it doesn't work out anyways, but you guys got lucky enough. So okay, so we're chilling.
Dude, playing team fights on Lina is like so easy. It's actually kind of crazy.
Something like here, like just like to play in this pick-off style, right, is like you could just Shadow Blade here and like walk mid and see if anybody shows on this wave. And if they don't, then like maybe you don't even show because like if you don't know where any of them are and you show, then like probably just gonna die to a Pudge, right? But like if you're just like sitting here Shadow Bladed and then like a Luna walks up. I mean maybe not Luna. I don't know if you solo kill Luna at this phase in the game. You do
pretty strong
damage. But I don't know. You like just it plays into the Shadow Blade sort of thing, and I don't blame you for
that
doing
makes
it.
perfect sense.
I'm not saying it's 100% correct, but like that's what Silver Edge sort of allows you to do. And you just had a small opportunity there. Again, none of them are showed at all. So if you had gone there, nothing would have happened. So I don't want you to take that to mean like, oh, I should always be running around looking for pickoffs with my Silver Edge. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but that makes sense. Like it's the utility of the item, and if I'm not doing like why get to that first? So,
right. Kind of a weird fight. Nice positioning. I like that you like kind of waited and walked around the side.
I should have been there right clicking. This is oh god.
Oh yeah, this is rough. Your good positioning turned into bad positioning.
Yeah, because they could.
Yeah, I think here you just have to have the wherewithal after you like kill this silencer, which is like really good. Is to like you need to kite like away from where they're going to be coming from, which is like their tower and their base, right? So like I want to walk this way on you, like to the right or up and to the right. Like kind of like want to reset because I don't have my BKB yet, right? And you just kind of like, kite away from them, but it's like close. It's just like where the reinforcements are going to be coming from. And you kind of get screwed because of it. Whereas if you were just standing like here when they walk up this hill, right? Then like you just proceed to clean up this fight because they have to like walk through your team and the tombstone to get to you, which they can't really do.
Yeah, literally, I fast because fuck the. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, without me telling you, if you would watch that back, you probably would have come to the same realization. It's like, oh, I just like walked towards the base, but.
Yeah, if I had BKB there.
Yeah, BKB and it's not even close. Then you just like.
Which honestly, if I didn't have those Pudge deaths earlier, then I probably had BKB there and then.
True.
Okay, so. But these deaths were good for my ego that match because I definitely like was tilting my team with those deaths a little bit,
Oh yeah.
and I was good to have to maintain my composure and still make plays. Oh, that punch was crazy.
Okay. So you walk top. You guys are
Like,
roshing. You got the BKB coming out. Very
yeah, I
nice.
call Roche here. Super easy Roche.
Smart. Smart. Good call. Cleaning up the wave.
So I call bottom.
Yeah, so this is what I mean about like the map distribution. Like this is kind of what you want, right? Like a hero cleaning up mid, like your support's kind of like hanging out here, and then ideally somebody is coming to push this in. Usually like your other more mobile split pusher, which could be like this Brood or this Tide with the Blink. Whoever can just get down here and shove this in. And this is like the map distribution you want, right? So it's like good that somebody, it doesn't have to be you, but like it can be, that is like shoving out this wave here before you then like do this stuff. It's like really good.
Yeah, that was
Point
hard to
that
pull
out.
off because my team got mad at me for pushing that mid wave out. They're like,
No,
you're gonna
yeah.
die. I'm
No,
like,
it's
no,
all
that's not how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then I call top, and I'm like, so they catch us on a ward here, but and we don't have smoke. But I was like, we could maybe get a pick off on the way to top if they're somehow dumb enough to stay out on the map.
Yes, that is how that works.
That's why I've Shadow Blade. I'm like, I'll make it work.
Sweet, yeah. Face check the
But
hill. Yeah, I would say even with Shadow Blade, face checking the hill. I mean, you have Aegis, so I guess it's fine. If you didn't have Aegis, that'd be kind of dumb. But even with BKB,
yeah,
it
oh,
would
for
be
sure.
dumb. But since you got Aegis, I guess it doesn't matter. So yeah, here, ideally, somebody, after you kill this Pudge, somebody lingers mid. And if it's nobody else, then it can be you. Although, ideally, somebody runs straight through this lane, and you can't do both if your team doesn't either. But ideally, there's a wave that just spawned that's right here, and somebody clears this, but instead, nobody does. Right?
Yeah,
Like, nobody
that makes
clears
sense.
it. So if this Brood is going to run all the way up here, great. Like, you should just, like, linger here, and, like, if you clear this wave, that's, like, super high skill.
Yeah.
It's just nobody lingers that last wave to like keep it in, because that's just what keeps the enemy like so oppressed. Like when you guys made this move to mid, like if the timing doesn't quite work out, but if it's like 28 like 55, like it would be really high skill for like, well, I guess nobody from your team clears creep waves other than you. I don't know. Like if you were like hung out here while your team starts this move across and like cleared this wave before like continuing to walk towards your team or something like that, those sorts of like creep wave kills are just like super high impact. Like it doesn't seem like it, but it really is.
No, it makes sense to me. I usually try to in most of my core games, but it's good to know that it's something that I should like really focus on. Like,
Yeah, and
also
it's like it doesn't feel like that crazy, but like just doing it consistently. Like imagine if this wave was like here. That's where it would be.
Right.
This wave would literally be at this tower right now, and you would see somebody. That's why it would matter, is because you would see somebody on their team clearing this, and that would give you the information that this is like super safe. Or you wouldn't see anybody, and that would give you the information that maybe this isn't
dangerous.
super safe.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Potentially dangerous.
And like we see the Pango now, but like we would have seen the Pango even earlier.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. And
Especially if they
it's
don't have Pudge dead, right? If they don't have Pudge dead, and you're like hitting this tower like this, like having that wave here like matters so much.
so this is high ground forces that are pretty bad. I thought we could do like high ground here. I thought with like my longer attack range and I could just like chunk the building, but it doesn't really end up like that. I don't have like the sustain, and then also like my team's dead, so
Well,
maybe
so
like
you guys put the tombstone up, then you walked away. Why did you walk away here? I thought you would just keep hitting here.
tower. It's
Yeah, the tower.
fort. Did they fort it yet? I thought they forted it, and then I walk like
I don't know.
hold on. Like, does it get forted the tier 3? I thought I stepped away for a second when it got forted. Let's see. But I might have just stepped away for no reason. So
Oh no, it's not showing that they have one, but I think they should. I don't know. Maybe it's just some kind of replay bug. Yeah, your positioning is really weird either way, though. Especially because you have a Pudge. I would be standing just like here, not going anywhere. Like if you're running anywhere, it's like gonna be backwards, not like over to the right. So yeah, try and stun the Pango roll.
Shard. Or no, that's just...
I got really lucky that you didn't get stunned by the Pango there before your BKB went off. Yeah, I think like here, like ideally, you're like kind of just looking to hit the tower. And like they BKB here on Luna, so the call should really be to just like chill.
Right.
Be like, okay, well we forced Luna BKB, so let's just wait till it's over. Like your Treant's kind of in way too deep. I guess he blinked into ult, which like kites the BKB, but it doesn't mean you should go in, because he's still BKB'd and you're like not gonna be doing that much damage. I mean, if you're standing like over here with this Tide standing, like you can hit the Lina from really far away. But I definitely wouldn't want to be walking up this hill right now. It's like super dangerous. Oh, I guess the Pingo didn't have to roll up. He just used a shard there. That's what happened.
After BKB, I'm like, the best thing here is just to reset and go back. Well, not even necessarily go back 80 seconds later. But like, we're only 2K ahead at this point, which isn't actually that much, right? So we probably should wait like 5 minutes before we try to attempt high ground. Or
no, you still have Aegis for... Well, it depends on the Aegis timer. Like, if your Aegis is going to expire in the next, like, 40 seconds, then yeah, you just, like, wait next Roche. But, like, with 2 minutes left,
we can do
you should,
something.
like, wait your BKB and then, like, try again.
Okay,
basically.
That's good to know that we could do it.
Yeah. As long as you still have the Aegis, like, it's not running out, like, in 5 seconds and giving the opponent some window to, like, kill you, then you're fine.
Do you like Satanic here? I'm noticing I'm having like sustain issues, and they have like a lot of like stuff I could dispel as well, like the silencer stuff I could dispel. I thought might be interesting.
Yeah, Satanic seems reasonable to me. Baby silver. Yeah, the Glypnir at this point, I don't think it's necessary. So yeah, I think Satanic is reasonable. I think Scotty's also reasonable, but I don't think one's like way better than the other. Okay, let's look at your Aegis, but they're gonna like die for it. Grim again. Pudge is dead. Getting some.
So high ground here? Yes or no? Because I think we tried again.
I think you can mildly pressure it, and if they buy back, like you just get out. Well, this is that's what the call should be. Is to, like pressure it, and if they buy, just like respect the buy because you don't have Aegis anymore, and just get the fuck out, and just accept that they like had to buy back some more. Tree just loves jumping in like a psycho. And as soon as like if anybody dies, then it's just over. You're just like, okay, get out. You know, it's not like the end of the world. It's not ideal, but like, yeah, at this point it's like dumb. I just want something to back off. You know, just farm it up. Wait for your teammates to respawn. You can even back off like to your side of the map, and then when you're all up, you can like smoke back out to their side. Like you don't even have to stay on their side here, because once you're all up, you'll be strong enough to like group up and smoke and like run it wherever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like, I felt really bad. Is dead, like they might try and smoke on you and like get out of their base, which would be a reasonable play from them. So like you don't want to fight them until this Treant's up, hypothetically. So.
And they're almost up. Yeah, they're almost up. They're gonna be up in like 4 seconds.
Yeah. So it's like okay to like retreat to your side of the map in this situation.
Oh yeah, then he gets I was about to leave it. I think I still leave. Yeah, like.
Yeah, that's good.
Should have done that earlier.
Yeah, I'd be focused here on like getting top pushed in ASAP. Like if you want to farm your way there, that's okay. But like that's my main concern right now is like the more waves push into them, the less they can do with these like deaths of your teammates. So like if you're
I think I'm heading there.
Bottom, that's good. Yeah, you could even consider TPing, but I don't mind the farm your way back. It's probably better to not TP there because you know they're not like running at you. So yeah, I would shove this in as far as it felt safe, based on what we see on the maps. Like we're seeing Silencer and Pudge, I feel pretty safe. And Grim, yeah, I feel super safe. I see Pango. I'm literally just like walking down this lane, pushing it in. With all this vision, that's all I'm doing here. Farming this camp on the side is fine.
Yeah. So push in more.
Yeah, so you're pushing it again. This is good. This is all good. We still see Silencer and Pudge and Grim. Still farming. Honestly, I would probably go kill this wave again. Or join your team. Unfortunately, your team's kind of briefing a little bit. But, alright, we get here. Okay, Pango has to BKB. It's fine. We're buying back on Undying. Interesting. Oh, just running in.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, no. Yeah, so
This Luna's
I
top lane
really
could be interesting.
she has Scotty, which completely
Yeah,
I don't even think I
too.
played that. I don't have any stacks.
It's a little awkward. I think. Okay, so well, it actually just didn't go well for you. You guys traded the Brute for the Pudge, and then your Undying died, and your Treant was still dead, and your Tide's like low. So at this point, the call should just be like, get out. Your Undying didn't need to buy back there, and maybe that like encouraged you to like go back in. But like you basically don't have a hero in this Tide Hunter, so you're basically down 2 heroes. The Grid's almost
Right.
dead, but it's really hard to like monitor all that stuff that's happening. Like knowing did Luna press BKB or not is actually a really important thing to know here. But it takes a lot of like wherewithal to like be able to ask that in that situation, right? You have to like know that that's like something you care about. So
Yeah.
you get shredded by the Scotty. Just funny, like if you had Scotty, it would be like the same thing, right? You could do the same thing to her. But you didn't have any stacks, like you said. So yeah, this is just like a bad go. Because you guys had you basically didn't have a tide and you already lost 2 heroes. Kind of forced it.
Thankfully, no Roche is up, but it actually comes up super quick, which is funny because they're all up. I think that'd be almost game losing if they get Roche here because they're so.
Yeah, like if they were good, they would be like camping this Roche super hard. But they're not.
I push this out real quick. I mean, it's probably not necessary. I don't know.
Well, so like Roche is the only thing that matters. So like in a
Yeah.
high level game, well, in a higher level game, they probably would have roached already. So it's like, what can you do? Then this would have been fine, depending on the vision you had. But based on the fact that you see they're not actively in roach, like you can take your time. Like as long as they're not doing it, you don't need to rush to do it. Like if you can fix your lanes first and then go do it, that's like ideal. As
Yeah,
long as
that's
they're
my.
not forcing it. I would have even pushed out one more wave. Why not?
Yeah, I'm getting anxious here because I think I end up TPing here, even though I'm so close because I'm like, oh, guys, just in case. I don't want to like
It's fine.
them to get
It's
it.
fine. So yeah, you're pushing in their mid lane, which is nice. It like forces like things like their Lina to show. In these situations where you're like kind of a Roche fight maybe is about to happen, if you can get this mid lane advantage and then smoke behind it, like if you can shove this lane in and then smoke behind it as a team,
Yeah.
while this whole Roche, as long as obviously if like the Luna's in here hitting Roche, that's like not going to be good. But if you have like this some sort of read that like that's not what's happening, then smoking behind this mid wave can be like a good tactic because somebody is probably going to clear this because they're all so close, right? Somebody usually like walks over and tries to clear it, and then you can just like kill a person that does that. Something to think
Makes
about
sense.
if you can organize your team.
Oh, there's no stacks here. This is one creep. Total grief.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Feels fucking bad. So your Brute's kind of forcing it here. I don't know why. Your positioning's decent.
Yeah, I think I play this fight pretty well.
Yeah, that's good.
I had to shadow play the kill there because she's actually out healing me.
Oh, that's great. Played at the edge of the fight. Didn't look like it was going to go that good for you guys, but then it worked out. Did Brood
I caught him
buy back, or did he just not die, actually?
Pingo or Brood?
Oh, he bought back, okay. The Brood, because he like walked in,
yeah.
and then I saw he was still alive. I was like, how's the Brood alive?
I catch the ping. Yeah, I catch the ping as BKB. I was like mousing over it, and so I got him to stun up the hill. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if he just dies anyways. Let's call the Roche here, and I think that's pretty much game. I mean, they have buybacks here, but
Yeah,
they bought
yeah.
back for the Roche.
Oh yeah, we can wrap it up then. It's been a while,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Granted, we did have a cat break.
But yeah, no, the support game was super useful, specifically the item timing thing. Because honestly, that's a way better mindset than like what's the late game versus early game team, right? Dictating fights versus just playing on your timings. That's true no matter what kind of team you are, right?
Exactly. And BSJ says this all the time, but like, it doesn't matter if they're the late game team if you're farming 70% of the map. Like if you're just out farming them, it doesn't matter if they outscale you because your higher net worth matters more than like scaling in a vacuum, you know? So if you can just like correctly macro play regardless of which team scales better and then just like group up and fight on item timings in those moments where you're even, the game's even, right? Just pick an item timing, group up, smoke, look for something, and then what you do after the fight after you've won a fight, you know, that fight where you'd won it up here and there were 4 heroes dead on their team, those moments are so important, and those happen every game. Almost every game. Usually multiple times. And if you can do those moments right and get those lanes shoved in and get the map control while the opponent's dead, like that, it just matters so much. And it's just a ton of farm too. People like don't farm efficiently. You just kind of like barrel down whatever lane's closest and feed.
Yeah, one thing about that Lina game is my farm, like, actually, was my farm okay that game? 304 last hits, 40. I was really active, but, like,
Yeah, I mean, you're top of the hour. I mean, it's fine.
Could have I had farming more efficiently, like, what, another 50, 60? What would be, like, a
I mean,
good number here?
the only way you're like massively increasing your farm efficiency is like just not dying the times you're dying.
That's it?
Yeah.
If I don't do this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you're not dying, that's where the extra CS is coming from. I mean,
Right, that makes
your
sense.
heroes like Lina farm like 10, 12 CS a minute. So like 5 deaths is like 50 CS or more. And you know,
Yeah,
well, some of
okay.
these deaths are the laning phase, right, or whatever. So it's not quite accurate.
Discount
but
those.
you know, like late, like, okay, if you're farming 10 creeps a minute on average, well, you were farming like 4 early games. Like later game, you're farming more than 10 per minute, right? You're farming like 15, 20 creeps a minute. So if you're dead for 90 seconds, like that's like 35 CS that you could have gotten if you had been alive the whole time, you know? So that's usually where like those huge numbers come from, is like continually farming and then like not dying and being able to farm continuously and never having to like go base is where these like giant like CS numbers come from.
Okay, that's good to know.
And like the farming patterns and stuff, but your farming patterns are generally okay. There's like stuff like making sure you're farming backward on a minute to like capture like the next camp and like, you know, stacking the camps or whatever. That's not really your problem that I've seen. Like I would call it out if I saw you doing it way wrong. I wasn't focusing on it too much. And also you can't talk about like every single thing. So yeah, I would say for now though, like for how this game was played, like your farm is fine. You're not like under farmed. Because like when you're under farmed, it's because you're like showing up to bad fights and you're not prioritizing your own farm, or you're like walking into dangerous areas of the map and then getting immediately shoved away, and you're not really doing that. So
Okay.
like
That's
your farm
good
would
to
be
know.
worse if you were making like these bad mistakes.
Okay, got it.
Oh.
Cool.
All right, man. I'm gonna go get some ice cream, I think. Have a good night.
You too. See ya.
Catch you later. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the video description. You can join my Discord there, and there's all the information there on how to sign up.